I wanted to ask you about your wife, though, LeeAnn, because we had the chance to obviously spend time with both of you in Philly. And when preparing for the interview and knowing you're this like larger than life personality, you know, you like to have a good time and party, one would not think that's the recipe for a successful relationship.
No.
And then I sat down with both of you, and like, you guys adore each other. Why do you think it works?
I think it's a weird recipe. I think it starts with losing my virginity. I didn't like that experience. It was
That's
not
because
good.
it was a mattress.
It was a mattress, yeah. It didn't go well. I didn't hit it out of the park, and I think that redefined me as a person. If it had gone well, and I had performed well, I might have been the dog doing stand-up every night trying to get I might have been that guy. But it didn't go well, and I realized at that moment, sex for me is not something I want to share with everyone. It's someone I want to do with someone I trust, that is gonna love me and that I'm gonna love them. This is gonna sound crazy. The idea of laying in bed next to a girl that I did not love made me really sad. That I would share sex with someone and then it would be disposable. And
Because
so,
you said before you've had sex with 6 people, I think, which...
Women.
One women.
we should put that out there. I don't know where history's going. I just want everyone to know they were women, listen, now that I know that you can be a top and just dudes in the ass, I might have done that. I don't know. I don't even think that's that gay.
But, you know, one would think it would be just based on, you know, the lifestyle, the number would be insanely high.
Everyone thinks, they're like, you were the number 1 party animal at the number 1 party school. You must have gotten tons of ass. And I was like, nah. Like, I really want to just find someone that gets me and that, like, I can share myself with. And when I met LeeAnn, she was just different than everyone else. And I think we met each other at the right time. We were both a little older. I mean, not now, it doesn't seem old, but like 30. I was 29 when I met her. And she just got me. She didn't want to change me. She wanted me to be who I was. And I in a weird way, was like, if I got someone who lets me be who I am, I'm perfect.
How well do you recall the first time you guys met at an LA bowling alley?
It was really fun. We were bowling couples versus singles, and he and I were on the singles team. And at the end of bowling, I knew his roommate really well, but I didn't know him. And I said to his roommate, hey, give him my phone number. I think we'd have a good time. I was like, I'm not marrying a comic, but we'll date for like 2 weeks, and then we'll be like best friends forever. So just give him my number. And he said, okay. But then Bert never called me. So
You didn't?
Oh, no.
He called me. I called his roommate and went, what the heck? I'm cute. We had a blast. Why didn't you call me? And he literally went, and I said, listen, if you ask me out, I'll say yes. So just ask me out. And he goes, okay, why are you cringing at that?
No, I'm not cringing. I'm not cringing.
He goes, do you want to go on a date? And I went, yes. And then we set a time for a date, and apparently I hear from his roommate. He hung up the phone and went, she just wants me for my body. Which was not what I was doing.
I just thought all women, if they were gonna say we should go on a date, that they were just sluts. And I was like, I don't want that. And then little did I know, she didn't want to just have sex.
So he showed up to my house, didn't come get me at my apartment door. He pulled up out front and blew the horn, right? So classy, but luckily I'm from Georgia and I totally get that language. So I was like, okay. I came out of the front door and I was in a dress and heels, and apparently he had a full-blown panic attack and could no longer tolerate shoes, did not eat a bite at dinner, wouldn't let the date end.
Really?
Nope, didn't eat a single bite at dinner. Dinner was over, let's go somewhere else for dessert, didn't eat. Let's go somewhere else for a drink.
Why?
Couldn't, he was a little thrown. I think he didn't think that it was really a date.
I didn't.
I was dressed for a date. I was going on a date.
Yeah.
I was minted. And then he was like, let's get a 6-pack of beer. And finally I was like, you need to go home. Go bye-bye.
What was the moment where it hit you that she was the one?
Well, it was when she dumped me, I think. I mean, I knew I was in love with her before then, but I wasn't willing to say it. But then when she dumped me, I was like, I just remember going like, this up. Like, I really this up. I remember looking at her ex-boyfriends thinking they had screwed up, and now I'm one of those dudes. Yeah.
So he made me a mixtape and put it on my windshield.
And what do you remember from that?
I remember he wrote on the liner, it was a CD. He burned a CD. He burned a CD and poured his heart out in this CD liner, right? And he kept going, listen to track number 8. Track number 8 is how I feel. That's how I really feel. And if you understand track number 8, then you'll come back. You'll come back to me. So I listened to it, and I got to track 8, and I went, if that's how he really feels, then I should probably go talk to him.
And what was track number 8?
Warning Signs by Coldplay. That's the song.
And she played it for our girls, and I was like, I got all worked up. I was like, what are you doing? And George is like, that's how you felt, Mom? And I was like, turn it off. Like, this is way too vulnerable for me. It's very vulnerable for me for right now.
What about it makes you emotional?
Because it's about almost losing something. It sounds like a dude who up and who wants the thing back, and that was very much how I felt about her, and I got her back.
Do you remember it's dancing or drinking for the wedding?
She's from a small town, and we had an option. You could either drink or dance at the wedding, but you couldn't do both.
That's right.
And she was like, which one do you want to do? And I was like, you're joking, right? I was like, I'll pick drinking, and I want to see them stop me from dancing. I'm like, we're bringing weed. Like, what are you talking about? And so we picked drinking, and the first thing that happened is we had a DJ, but you weren't allowed to dance. And then my family started clearing tables. And they were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then my buddy Eddie took one of her cousins and started dirty dancing her on a chair, like Magic Miking her. And Eddie's an amazing dancer, and it was a spectacle. Her dad then had a panic attack, took it as Xanax, and
My dad left. He left.
He was like,
No, he left the wedding. He was like, peace out. I can't handle it. It's
Why?
too anxiety producing. It was
a
too
lot
much.
of her family was just
Too
like
anxiety.
in the
Super
back. I mean,
Southern Baptist, nobody.
You're talking rural, like 1,200 people in this town,
Yes.
rural. And we had the wedding at the church that her grandfather went to grade school in, the church that her family, all her family is buried behind that church, and we had our after party in their carport.
Usually
So,
they
like,
don't have any. It was one room church that was built in 1840. It's been in my family since 1840. So my whole family, we didn't have any money. We were really broke when we got married. So for a wedding gift, I asked my family members to make food. So they made barbecue and potato salad and cornbred, and my cousin
Brunswick
made the
stew.
wedding cake, and
The wedding cake was made out of
The groom's
one minute
cake.
cake had is out of Krispy Kreme donuts.
yeah, we just bought a bunch of Krispy Kreme donuts and made a groom's cake because we just didn't have any money. I mean, my dad could only pay for the DJ, so I had to pay for everything else myself, and we just couldn't afford it. So
She drove herself to the wedding in a pickup truck.
it was really beautiful because it was so authentic.
As she's telling this, what touches you again about it? Well, what is it?
I don't know. It's just cool. It was cool. It was very fun. It was
It was very special. And so when we sit here today in this beautiful life we have, with a lot of gratitude, because we built this really together.
It was bizarre.
It's tremendous.
It's not supposed to work like this. She was pregnant when we got married. We were poor. I was failing as a comedian. I owed money in taxes. I mean, we were set up to fail. And then I don't know. She gets all the credit because she was the one that kind of put her dreams on hold and worked to support our family and put us up. And this mom is supposed to resent the out of him and go like, what about me? What about my dreams? How come you get to go on the road all the time? How come I'm raising all the daughters? Why are you going to South Africa for a month? It's not supposed to work. And then for some reason it just did. And it doesn't make sense.
Someone actually on our wedding day said to me, a good friend of mine said, he's like a kid, and he's going to be a kid forever. But if you can let him be a kid forever, you'll have the best life. And I went, that's a really good way of looking at that. So I think that's what I've always done, is I've always just been in love with who he is, even except maybe the not flushing the toilet part. But other than that,